I got some people will be removed, so come back in if you need to. All right, we're doing courses from a parent perspective in Schoology. And so we're going to take a look in my course first. I'm going to go to one of my sample courses. And you may not have been aware, but as a student, some of you have asked what the student sees. And you're wondering this because parents are sending you questions and you want to be able to answer them. In your course, just as a heads up, you can go right here underneath your course profile. There's a little drop down that says course options. And it says view course as. You can select one of your students in your course. And then you can see what your course appears like for that student. Now, that could be helpful if you jumped on a Google Meet to show the parent what their child is seeing. If they click on this discussion, what they would see, and then you could even tell them, well, this is where your child puts their answer in. So you could show them that from a child's perspective. Now, it does not have a parent perspective, view course as parent, but I'm going to take you into my parent course and show you what a parent sees. So for this one, I'm going to be logging in. Looks like it timed out. Sorry, guys, I opened this before the meeting. So bear with me 1 minute while I relog into my parent account. All right. Okay, I am in my parent account. I have landed in my parent account. And actually, sorry, it didn't default to what I was last logged into. But now I'm in my parent account. What parents see? Well, parents do have their own account. And so this is my name here. And then their children are here if they've already added them. If they haven't yet, I do have a really quick 5-minute video you can use. If your parents just need to add their child in your class who they're not connected to, that is right there. But I'm going into this training just with looking at Schoology from a parent perspective. And so this is where the parent lands. Now, what you notice is, and I've had more than one teacher contact me and say that parents are saying there are no courses. More than likely, if that happens, the parent is in their parent account. They've got their name selected. And no, they're not in courses in Schoology. Now, some parents do have groups that they have joined. We have been encouraging everybody to join the COVID-19 support group. There could be a school-based group that they're in. Parents can join and participate in groups. But if they say there are no courses, you want to direct your parents to make sure that they select one of their children. So the first one that I'm going to show is my daughter. She's graduated, so she's not in a lot of, she's not in any CPS-based courses, but I've got her in some of my practice courses. All right, so the parent clicks on their child, and what do they see? Well, the first thing that they see, and I showed this on my mobile video, is updates. They see the updates that that child receives. You can ignore mine. They do go out. If I post something to Cincinnati Public Schools, lately I've been doing it for parents. Students are all going to see that. When we post to Cincinnati Public Schools, all district staff, students, and connected parents get that update. So you might have noticed that I also had that update on my parent page. There it is right there. So, but going back to my student, one of the #1 things that I suggest that teachers post is an update, because that's the first thing I land on as a parent is the updates page. I'm going to show you how to make this easier and more interactive for your students and parents, but that's the first thing I see when I select my child. I don't first see their courses. I have to click on courses, and then I can see all of the courses that my child is enrolled in. I can also toggle to my other child, thanks to Jackie. She let me add her daughter. We were working on some things, and then so she said I could use this in training. Yay, thanks, Jackie. All right, so now I am in my other child's account, and I'm looking at their updates. Now I see music. She's in Russian class, and I see Russian, CPS. So I basically saw music, Russian, and Cincinnati Public Schools. As a parent, I'm seeing the updates you post. So teachers, let's make sure we're posting an update at least maybe once a week or so that those parents see those first thing. But again, if that teacher, or excuse me, if that parent just clicks on courses when I've got Riley selected, now I can see all of Riley's courses. All right, and I can definitely tell by a glance some teachers who are using the course versus, I'm not saying they're not, maybe they are, maybe they're not, but it sure would be helpful if you guys added those custom images. So remember those ABCs that I posted about, adding a course image, building course content, and then C, communicating with updates. Those are really important steps to get your parents engaged. So I can click right into the music course, and here I can see the music teachers offering office hours, and then I can see all of the assignments. It's helpful, teachers, if you organize your content in folders or things like that. But again, just looking at that parent perspective, the first thing that they land on is updates. So you may want to post an update so they get some information they might need to know for their child. All right, that is a very, very baseline level of what a parent sees. So I'm just going to repeat those steps again. When I first log into Schoology, I'll probably land on my page. Now down here, just so you're aware, parents can change settings. And they can land on their main account or the child activity. I don't recall right at this moment which one it defaults to because I've changed it so often. But they can select where they go. They might want to go to their child's activity first. Maybe they don't care about their parent page. So that's something you can be aware of is in there for parents. Notifications for parents. Because I joined a group as a parent, my notifications expanded. So I don't know if anybody in this call joined the parent training or viewed it on my YouTube channel, but parents initially in Schoology just have a email summary that they can receive daily or weekly. But when they join content such as a group or course in Schoology, then they get these more advanced notifications like you have in your account. So parents can elect to receive emails for any of these areas. Now, as a parent, I don't want to get emails on all of those things, but I like this here. Parents can elect to get text message notifications. So now I'm going to put in my phone number. Not actually going to type it in on the screen because I don't want that to show. Let me go off screen. Actually, I'll just leave that alone for now. You get the idea. I'm going to get text message updates from Schoology. So that's something I can elect over here. Right. So that's how your parents could easier stay up to date with changes that occur in Schoology. But you want to make sure that you notify them. They have an account. Excuse me. They are not enrolled in any courses, but they can toggle to their students. They can add multiple siblings, and they can control some of their settings, such as what kind of notifications they receive, and even some other things in here, such as I didn't want my first name shown, just for simplicity because I train in the district, but they might want to change their name display, things like that. Parents can, I've had parents very often reach out to me and say that they signed up with an old email account or they don't remember the email. They can call the help desk if they don't remember it, but they can change their email address or, add another email address. I think to change the primary one, they have to go through something at the help desk. But they can add a second email address. So they've got some different things that they can do in their parent account. All right, those of you who happen to be district staff and district parents, you can link Schoology accounts together. So similar to the way that I toggle with my children. Now, I've never done that. I am the type of person who I like to keep my personal accounts private and my work accounts for work only. That's my personal preference. So I'm not gonna link it here and show you, but I could provide the guide. Just be aware that you can also, if you're a district staff member and you have students in the district, you could link an account so that you could toggle back and forth to that as well, if you wanted to do that. All right, so that is the parent view. Going to my students, the first thing you notice they see is the updates. You may have to give them directions. So what are some proactive things you could do? Well, when you post a message to one of your courses, and for that, I'll hop back into my course. If I'm in my course and I want to post a message, I can greet everybody, or I could say, hello, parents and students. Share my message content. And then a great thing that you could all start doing is tips for parents. And it could be something like, I've added content to my folders. Click on courses. You can give them written directions, or another thing that you could do is you can give them a direct link to it right there. So that's part of what I'm planning to show in a next session, like what teachers can do so that parents have an easier to navigate experience. And it really does live here in the updates. We're going to look at that in a moment. I'm going to hop back over. Let me, excuse me, get that off my screen. Excuse me. And let me come back over. So we looked at the parent account. I'm also going to look into the student count. We've got a sample student, and we're going to look at that child's courses, and we're going to look at how a parent can guide their student, because we're going to look at some course content from a parent account versus a student account. And when parents see activities that require action on the part of the student, such as an assignment, test or quiz or discussion, how that has to shift. We'll kind of look at that from the perspective of a kindergarten student and an older student. So we hop back over here to the questions. Oh, okay, Iris, they do that. I have instructions that I'm going to pull up for everybody. So bear with me 1 second while I pull up that file. I have a folder that I'm going to give you a link to. You can view and use any of the materials in this folder. So let me first get the link. And I'm going to put that in the chat for you. All right, that is a link to the file that I'm about to show you. Not only does it show you the how-tos, I wasn't in the folder. Okay, there. Not only does it show you the how-to, the parent step-by-step instruction guide. So this is how the parent signs up. Ashley had the correct instructions. This also provides you a visual. But it also shows you what happens when they enter that parent access code that you will give them. And then it walks them through how to sign up. We have had a lot of parents accidentally sign up with their child's name. I had 2 parents contact me just yesterday about that. They created their account and they accidentally used their child's name. So we've got this reminder here with a nice big red arrow. And it also shows them how to add a child. So this is just a quick 2-page guide to show parents how to sign up. And just so you're aware of what parents did receive when they participated in the parent training, I dropped this in the teacher resources. This was a parent training we held last Tuesday. It is recorded and available on my YouTube channel. There's actually a link to that right there in the document. But these are all the things we went over with parents, step-by-step instructions for creating their Schoology account, how to use it from a mobile device. I have since added a couple videos to my YouTube channel for parents on that. What Schoology, which account to go to for students or parents, because it is different. I'm going to show that in the next section. I also included PowerSchool, but we didn't go over. I just showed where to initiate their account and gave them the resources. I didn't include that in my training, but it's all right there, as well as some different resources we went over in that 60-minute training. So that's all in that folder as well. And then everything else in that folder are just things that you can use more when you're back face-to-face with your students in preparation next year for getting everybody else connected. So I won't go over all those resources, but those are there for you. So if you need to get your parents connected, that's how you do it. How do you customize the icon for each course? Okay, I can't show you that real quick. Right here in my course, you just hover over the icon. It does start off as just, I'll put it back to what it was. Okay, so as you know, your course starts off with that generic icon. And as you saw in that one navigation, it's not very user-friendly. Let me show you what it looks like for some students. If all the teachers on that student's roster do not change their course icons, then when your students click on courses, or excuse me, your students or parents click on courses, they could end up with a drop down that looks like this. So it's not very user friendly at all. So in order to change that, you just hover over Edit Picture. Now Schoology has built in some pre-made tiles that match content. Like there's one that kind of looks like it's for math, another one that looks like it's for PE, and so forth. This one looks like it's for art. So you could easily just select one of those. So if I taught math, I could select that one. Now I do like to put in a custom image. It would need to be an image that you've created or pulled from a free resource. I won't go into image creation at this time or image use at this time. I have other trainings on that. So instead, I'm just gonna put my little preschool image back in there. All right. That's how I change that course image. So hopping back into my parent account, again, parent, oh, I'm already in as one of my children. So I can see the courses that appear this way. This one is generic, it hasn't been changed yet. And I can toggle over to my other child. Again, though, I'm just trying to really drive home that updates are what they see first. They have to manually click on courses, and they do the same thing in a mobile phone too. They have to click on courses. So the first thing they're going to see is your updates. We're going to get into creating an update that makes it easier and more engaging for teachers and for parents and students at home. All right. So this is what the parent sees if you did or did not change your icon. Okay, you're welcome, David. All right, I don't see any other questions, so I'm going to assume that we are good right now. And I'm going to move on to the side of what a parent account versus a student and when and where it's appropriate. So first I am going to go back to my parent account. Now, if I am Riley's parent, Riley is a kindergartner. It is completely reasonable and appropriate for the teacher to plan that that child is not really getting in there at home by themselves, they're with their parent. So you want to build your content and your updates in a parent-friendly way. So in my courses, I really liked her homeroom teacher. She had a lot of great organized information. All right, she's got different color-coded and labeled folders. And then she even added like a COVID-19 resources. And then she's got all of her subjects contained in her homeroom hub. This teacher is not planning on this student doing online work independently for a grade. This teacher just has their course set up as a hub for online learning. So it's a great idea to do it like that. Also, for that parent, if I click on language arts, it is the same teacher because it's a kindergartner. There's nothing in that course because that's not what that teacher is using. So if you are a teacher, and especially elementary, and you teach self-contained subjects, you might only operate out of 1 or 2 courses. You could actually change that image to say no content in this course so that they know there's nothing in here. It's not necessary, but it's an extra step you could take. But right here, I can see that this is something that has been edited or changed. I'm going to click in there. Now, I'm going to open up this weekly practice guides. And did you notice, let me go back because I like that the teacher said on the folder, the teacher labeled their weekly practice guides and said, these are activities that kids can do at home using paper and pencil. This is very user-friendly to the parent because right away I know, okay, here's something, I could be looking at this on my phone and I could just click on this. We could get out some scratch paper and then they could work on this practice activity. So it's going to show, it's taking just a minute to load. It's still loading. All right, so, excuse me, I don't know why that closed. Trying to be patient. I'm the worst at being patient waiting for something to load. So as a parent, like this list here, we could jot it down on paper. I could be viewing this all from mobile and I don't have to necessarily print this off. So keep in mind having things that you post for your parents that they can view, and go ahead and attach some instructions right to the folder. Because if I were to just open this folder and it didn't have that little bit of text to give me instructions, I might not know what's expected of me to do with this, this activity. But by the teacher just simply adding a caption to these folders, this one says families can click through these PowerPoint slides to review kindergarten content. That is very straightforward for me as a parent at home supporting my kindergartner. And when I look at these activities, there's nothing my student needs to do. Now let me toggle to the other child. That one's actually mine. Okay, I'm gonna go into the practice learning course where I've got some content built. Now, as a parent, remember, I'm still in my parent account. I've looked through the updates. That's what I saw first. And I went into this folder and I say, ooh, must complete. That means my kid's got to work on that. So I'm going to click on that folder. Assignment. Must do this assignment. That's actually built-in content. Look at that. Forbidden. So right away, the parent's going to say, it doesn't work, right? Let's look at another one. Sample video. Okay, the teacher has some video recorded instruction. I'm still in my parent account. I can view this video. I think if I had my parent account in Chrome right now, or if I was on the mobile app, that would just be opening right there. The instructions. Okay, so we're gonna ignore that one now. Oops. Go away. Okay, so I viewed the video. I actually like that video better on my mobile phone. But look at this, I can't submit. So this was another teacher that I worked with. Their parent was saying that their child did not have a submit button. It sure does say my child's name, right? But I am logged in as a parent. I'm not logged in as my child. I'm gonna go back and just look at a couple other activities. A weekly class discussion. All right, I don't see anything. I actually probably should have gave you one that I had some content on. I'll go to one that has some content. Sorry, I thought I loaded that folder with discussions that were done. Just give me 1 second. Where did my discussion go? Ah, here we go. So as a parent, I'm still in my parent account. I'm still looking at what my daughter Mary, who would be in high school watching this, I can watch the video. I could hand her my phone and let her watch the video. But I can't go any further than to see, well, guys, I had myself enrolled in that course, so that's a bad example. But someone else responded to this, and as a parent, I don't see what those other kids are saying. I only see if my child responded to this. Okay, so what does, just get out of this, sorry. Yeah, go away. Okay. So weird, sorry. I don't usually open things out of Internet Explorer. Ugh. Okay. So what does my student need to do? If I'm a parent at home and you might have noticed, I can see a lot of details. I can look at any PDFs that are there. I can click on any links. If the teacher has embedded a YouTube video or given extensive instructions, as a parent, I get to see all that. But there's no submit button for me, and there is no ability for me to post a discussion. So I need to direct my child to go into their account and sign in. So you'll notice on that sheet, on that one-page resource that I gave parents, right here, I tell them that this is the access for parents, Schoology.com, but students have to go to schoology.cps-k12.org. So they will need to help their student sign into their student account. Now, if they're little, they'll have to help them. If they're older, they need to tell them, log in and do your work. All right, so I'm in as a student who's enrolled in one of my practice courses. So let's take a look. I want to go into that practice course I had open. You can hear my neighbors, sorry. They're being loud back there. All right, let's go into that graphic designer discussion. As a student, I see the same thing my parents saw, but right here, I can write my response to this post. Okay, as a student, I could add an attachment, a link. I could even do a video response. I'm going to skip those for now. My child hit post, but wait a minute, I'm in as Hannah. So let's take a look what Mary's parent sees. There's another post today at 2:32, but I don't know who it is or what they said. So one last thing that I'm going to do is actually log in as Mary. And as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to take questions on these topics. Oh boy. All right, here we go. Now I'm in as Mary. So I'm going to go to the same course, do that assignment. Actually, I think it was this one. No, it wasn't. Sorry. I'm mixing up my course content here. Bear with me 1 second. Let me double check which one I had her in. The graphic design course. Okay. Sorry, it was this course. So the graphic design discussion. So as a student, whether it's an assignment, test or quiz or discussion, if I now go in as that student and I write my response, right? Again, the student can add lots of fun layers to that response. The parent gets to see their own child's response. The parent could click on any attachments the child posted. If the child did post a video response, the parent gets to see all of that. But it's really important that we remember that a parent should be into their parent, of course, signed into their parent account, and that a child only should be signed in as themselves if they need to complete work. So teachers, as you are communicating with your parents at home, if you teach younger primary grades, you may want to follow the example like this kindergartner and her teacher who set up her course, her homeroom, with these folders that have directions on it that tell parents exactly what they're going to do with that content. If you teach high school, she's a high schooler, she's actually graduated, you might want to just post a link that takes them to that content. I'm going to be sharing that soon. Or expect that that child is going into those courses and completing their own work. But that parent cannot complete their work. They can't, on their device, they can't be signed in their parent account and then hand it off to their child. When they toggle here to their child, they are viewing their child's account. And it even says at the top, you are viewing her course. You are not in the course enrolled. You are not a member of the course. So you cannot complete content. A child would need to log into their own account to participate in the content. All right, so that was the look at perspective, both in their parent account, as well as looking at how they can support their child being logged in and completing their work. Questions? What are updates is our next section of this presentation. So, all right, then perfect timing. We're going to do updates. Let me show you something really simple that you could do that would help all of your families out today. Let's say, for example, that, and I want to go to another course. I'm going to go to this one because I have more stuff in this one. All right, I've got this sample course materials, and I've even put a completion rule on it, must complete, so I can check out my students' progress on those. All right, so they must complete the content in this folder. Okay. If, let's say, I want them to complete the whole folder, this link right up here, you might not be aware of this, but everything in Schoology is its own unique URL. At the end, it links directly to that. Now, you are fine to post that URL because you can't get in there unless you're a enrolled student, an administrator, teacher of the course, or a parent can see it. Now, keep in mind, this link does not work for your parents' accounts. So I'm going to show you a little trick. Okay. This course, I'm just imagining that I want to share all the content in this. Okay. So I'm just copying this link, going to updates, and here I write my message to my families. Now, I really like that idea of tip for parents, or parent tip. Okay. So I've got my message. Here's what we're going to work on this week. Now, this is what I would do. Right here, this link, I would post this and I would call it students link to today's or this week's, you could say this week's work, but this week's. All right, so what's going to happen for my students? They're going to see that, but that link is different for parents. So I'm going to dip back into the parent account and I want to show you where that changes. Okay, watch this link here. Now, this whole part of that link, that .com/course54, you can see it ends in 878. Let me go back here. No, not my update, sorry. course/878. This is all the same right there, except this part's different. So teachers, I'm going to drop it in the chat, but the beginning part of the address is different for parents. If you want to make a really friendly, parent-friendly link, you could take this, copy just that piece of the link. I'm giving it to you. You don't have to wonder how I did that later. I'm taking that part of the link, and in my update, I'm going to post that same link, but watch how I do it. I paste it, and then I grab the section I want them to go to. So all the way to the .org. It's .org for staff and students. It's .com for parents. So in that link that I am posting, this app.schoology.com, I'm adding that part of the folder. You do not need to do this. You can always give them directions like click on courses, click on my orange folder. You don't have to do this, teachers, but I'm just showing you you can make this a really user-friendly update for parents and students. Then it can be parents, view this week's work here. Attach. All right. I always like to show to everybody when I do these sort of calls, please bear in mind you can add files right here at the bottom. You can add links to websites that you want them to visit. And you can even embed videos from YouTube. I love the microphone recording because this is how you could quickly connect with your families and students with a quick video recording. So I start recording and it's going. This is my recorded update. When I'm done, I just hit stop. First, it shows me it's uploading it. I can preview it, insert it. All right, I have just made a pretty robust update and it works well. I'm going to show it to you on the parent side and I'm going to show it on the student side. Okay, as a parent, I'm logged in, I'm checking up on Mary, and oh, what do I see? There's an update from her teacher, and it says students, link to this week's work. Boom, as a parent, if I'm on a mobile phone or computer, it's gonna prompt me to sign in as my child, right? But if I just click here, I'm already in my parent account, boom, it's gonna take, oh, link worked last night. Hold on one second. I must have got something wrong in the link that I dropped. So my fault. appschoology.com/ maybe I didn't do apps.schoology.com. So hold on one second. Copy. I was like, wah, wah. Sorry about that. Let me just edit this and add it again. Sorry. link, drop that one. I might have been giving you the wrong one. Go back to the course. I got to pay attention to what browser I'm in. Course, org, copy. Okay, this is only impressive when it works. This is a risk of a live audience, people. That's why I make so many videos. Okay, sample parent link. Take two. This should work. All right, let me refresh. Now I'm going to blame it on Internet Explorer, and I might open it up in Firefox at the end. Okay, I'm going to open in Firefox at the end. Guys, I really can't stand Internet Explorer. I only use it for limited purposes, but you can make a parent-friendly link in your updates. If it didn't work, you could just have a link for the student, but just be sure that when you post the update, that you indicate that that is the student's link. So if you are linking to that course material, indicate that that link is for the students, because I will show you this. It's going to give that same message. If a parent tries to click on that, it's going to open it up to sign into the correct account. So it's really important that a parent doesn't think that that link is for them. All right. Questions? I showed updates, so there's no new questions. I think because it's so pretty outside. Should we end today's session early? You can unmute yourself if you want to say peace out, because I could go over the wrap up stuff at the end. But I do just really want to point that out about that parent side of things. Now, for the student side of things, if they are in their course, if they're logged into Schoology, they also see updates first, whether they're on a mobile app or they're on a computer. And so if I'm a student, as long as I can read, right here it says link to this week's work, I can see that. If I'm a non-reader, I can embed a picture-based link in here. I have a training on my YouTube channel about visuals and doing picture-based links in your updates. I could put that in there, or I could just always have a click here for course content and go straight into the course content. All right. But I don't want to make this a training on adding visuals and things like that. Just keep your parents in mind in your courses. If we're recapping some things you can do on your end, you can view the course as one of your students. Just keep in mind you don't have the submit button. It's not a true view of what the student sees. The bigger piece that I want you to take away is the first thing your students and your parents interact with is updates. So post them as frequently as you can. And then when you're in course content, add some directive things like that teacher did, just as simple as adding just a statement to that folder that tells students or parents what's happening in that folder. You want to consider your course design from a parent's perspective, especially if they've got to toggle to multiple children. If you can post a quick update that gives them the information they need to know and a link to whatever the students need to work on, then do it that way. Make it simple. All right, I see one more message. Nobody actually unmuted and said, oh, Robert, I'm glad you find it helpful. Good. I find it really helpful to try to look at everything we're doing from the parent lens. Since we have time, nobody said that they want to go early because of the sun shining. I will show you mobile because I'm convinced that mobile is the way that we are interacting with most of our parents. And so I'm going to show you my mobile app. I encourage you to first of all, I encourage you to download the mobile app. There's a lot you can do, and I have a 5-minute video on that, but I want to show you the parent side in mobile. So just 1 minute. So first things first for parents, in mobile, they do not log on to Cincinnati Public Schools. So if by chance you are remote instructing a child who the only device that they have at home is a mobile phone, is their parent's mobile phone that they share, they will have to log in and out. Like the parent should be in their parent account to see all their children. But if the child has to work from a mobile phone, the parent will need to log out and the child logs in with the school. It prompts them to log in with Google. The parent should always be logging into Schoology.com. So the parent just enters their email address. I didn't have this planned for the end of this, but since we have time, I want to show it. All right. So I logged in as a parent, and you can see it's still loading, but what loaded first? Updates. Okay, on a mobile phone, you don't even have the side distraction of the date, and you don't have that bar that says courses to click on. So teachers, can you see why keeping updates posted often would be helpful to your parents? The first thing that they're going to interact with is their updates. Now, I did create a video that I shared out, I believe it was yesterday, not it was the day before, on mobile for teachers and mobile for parents. But I will just show you that parent can go to their children. Now watch when I am on one of my children, it's loading. Again, updates come up first. There is no big visual on courses. Now a parent can click on courses, and now I can see all the courses my child's in. I'm in Mary's. Okay, I can go to the courses then from my mobile, but updates is what they see first. So please post updates, letting them know what's going on in your course, directing them if you have created assignments, tests or quizzes, discussions, anything where the child needs to interact, have that student link there, but label it student link so parents know what's going on, especially the primary grades. All right. I do not see us moving to Google Classroom because it's not a learning management system. I think that is probably just a misconception. Google Classroom is an online classroom, but it is not a complete learning management system. Google Classroom does not integrate with things like PowerSchool, our student information system for rostering, connecting our grade book, and things like that. So no, Google Classroom is a great add-on tool. I do have a resource for you guys I posted it in the Cincinnati Public Schools resources. So if you just click on resources, it's right where you can find your remote learning plans. But if you scroll down, I added a folder called For Teachers, Templates and Materials You Can Use Now. If you are using Google Classroom from that parent perspective, this is an important thing, and I'm glad you asked. I would include a page in my Schoology course that gives the parent, the child and parent information. And then you can hyperlink. I added a hyperlink right to the Google Classroom landing area. So if you've already got them in a course, you can use that. But you need to have your view of all the course content for your students and parents as user-friendly as possible. So, whoops, it's in the other course. In this course, if you're using Google Classroom, I would add in the Google Classroom template explaining that your students are working in Google Classroom. It's an online classroom, not a learning management system. This link will take them straight to the landing page of Google Classroom. They'd have to sign in. I'm not going to do that right now. But then there is tips for parents, and I added a bracket here. So add your tips, information about Google Classroom. Students, if you haven't joined yet, follow those steps. And I have left another bracket for you to put your class code in here. I also have templates on using Google Meetings and different things like that. So if you use Google Classroom, please link it in Schoology, because as we continue to have teachers use all different platforms, that parent has to keep up with a lot of different things. If you at least hub it in Schoology for your parents, you're doing them a huge service. Yeah, I can show where that resource was. Okay. Iris, I'll come back to the updates question because I did show that a little bit, but I'll show it again. So where was that resource? I'll link it to you right now, if my computer cooperates. All right, this is the resource folder that I added to the Schoology Cincinnati Public Schools page under resources. So I am dropping that link in the chat now. Goodness. There it is. So if you click on that, it takes you straight in there. Now, if you did need to navigate there, if you click below your name, it has your school name. You click on your school name, and then you can just scroll down and find Cincinnati Public. Mine goes straight to Cincinnati Public because I'm not affiliated with the school. I'm with the district. So, but it's just right there in resources on our Schoology Cincinnati Public Schools page. All right. So Robert, I gave you that link. Iris, where do we post our updates? I'll show you that again. So I'll show you two ways. The ones that I demonstrated earlier was in my course. Updates are here, right below materials. So on a computer, updates are right below materials. My computer's really lagging right now. So everything I click, I have to wait a while on. I'm gonna close out some of these. Maybe closing out the extra tabs will help. I don't know. All right. So I can post that update right here, message here. I can edit the font a little bit up here. I can add files, links, or even embed those videos. Please play with your updates, guys, and post updates to your classes. But just so you know, it can be even easier and faster. You can just go to your recent activity. So as soon as you first log in on a computer right up here at the top, it says post update. I can click on that. Shrink this back down. And then I get a field where I can, got a really bad lag on my, every time I click or do something, it takes a second. So from the home page, I just clicked on post update. I can write my message, and then maybe I teach multiple sections, or I want the message to go to my homeroom. Oh. Okay, so pretend that's my homeroom. It's not. My computer lag is, it's not going very good right now, folks. Okay, I typed in homeroom, then I might have my math course, add that in. If I teach self-contained, maybe I wanted to go to all of them. So I can put my math, my ELA, or whatever courses make sense for you. If everything that you teach is just like 9th grade English, I could just add all my English sections. And so I can add one message one time, and from the home screen, I can send it out to all of these at once. Now, I do not want to hit send on that because
you can't see your screen.
Oh,
we can't see your screen.
Bummer. Yeah, whoops. Well, what you missed was my computer moving super slow. So the great news is when I reshare my screen right now, you're going to see the finished product. All right. Sorry. It was after every time I share mobile, I forget to go back in and reshare my screen. Every time. Sorry, folks. All right, so from when I first log in on the home screen, there is at the very top, it's easy to overlook. You can actually post an update, even an assignment or add to calendar, but just so you know, there is more things you can do right from the home screen. You can post an update right here. I was in the middle of typing it out, and in that field below, we'll open one. All right, where it says post to, I can start typing in names of my courses like homeroom, select it, reading. and then maybe my math course as well. Okay, so I can write the message one time and shoot it out to all my courses. So high school teachers or even just content, departmentalized elementary teachers, you could send that message out to everybody all at once right here from your home screen. If you've already linked your sections, then they'll go out anyway. But I just want to show that from the home page, you can post an update there too. We are at 3 minutes left. Are there any questions I did not hit? Yeah, sorry, Iris. I didn't realize you couldn't see my screen. Sorry, guys. All right, well, I think we'll wrap it up right at the 1 hour mark. Let me check in the chat and see if Ashley's already dropped the form. I feel like people need to get outside today. It's a very quiet group in here. All right. Oh, it's not in here yet. Ashley, can you drop that link, please? If you have it handy. If not, I can look it up. All right.
I got it.
Thank you, Ashley. The form should be in there soon. If you already know how to use the form, just wait until she drops it in, and then you can use that link. If you have not used it or just want to walk through with me how to use it, then stay on the line because I always walk through using the phone or using the form before I get off. So if you're done though and you've got the form, there Ashley just dropped it. If you've got the form link, just click it and you could end the call. But if you're staying in, I just like to walk people through the form. I didn't get started because I had a lot of feedback. Okay, so just include your email address. You don't have to include your information if you don't want to, but your employee ID number, first and last name do have to be included if you want your to earn your contact hour. Hey, could somebody please mute?
Convince me that it's dead and happened. Fed them to tigers, they snack it. What's happening? Carol Branson. Carol
Your information in. If
husband whacked him. Convince me that it's dead and
okay,
happened.
well,
Fed them to tigers, they snack it. What's happening?
is that you, Ashley? You're the best. All right. Okay. You put your information in, your role, and then what we worked on today was Schoology. And we actually did do remote learning strategies. So you'd want to select both of those. Nothing is happening when I use my cursor right now. Okay. You would want to select remote learning strategies and Schoology. Indicate your school that you teach at or schools. This training was a virtual PD session, video conference. If you are watching this later on my YouTube channel, you viewed a recorded virtual PD session. So select either, if you're here now, this is what you select. If you're watching later, select view to recorded. I do put copies of the chat transcript in my video, in the message area below the video. We were in this session for 30 minutes to 1 hour. And in this call was Ashley Badgett moderating the chat, and I am Rosemary Jane. So click both our names. Please rate the training, and then we appreciate any comments or questions that you have. Add those here. If you'd like to keep up with the rest of our schedule, we've linked it for you so you can see what else is coming up this week. I probably shouldn't have opened the link because I don't know what's going on with my computer. It's so slow. All right, the link is there. Also a link to the CPS Tech Talk course, it's right in there too. And then if these don't work for you, you need additional support, you can always do the training request form. So that's it. If you're having technical issues or problems with your accounts, the ITM help email is also linked at the bottom. I like to send myself a copy if I'm going to submit something for contact hours, so I would send yourself a copy of that too. You can turn that off or on at the bottom. So that's it, guys. That's all I have for you today. Dedicated and caring teachers to spend this gorgeous afternoon learning how to connect your parents. So I applaud you all. All right, take care, everybody. As you exit the meeting, do make sure you go to the bottom and click on Leave Call after you've clicked on the contact form link. If you don't leave the call, I will have to drop you off personally. So please do exit yourself. Okay. Oh, Megan, Ashley took care of you. Ashley, thanks for your help again. And thanks everybody. As you're exiting, just click on the link and then you can exit the call. Thank you. Bye.